Thank you, man. I appreciate you, and I want to thank you, Dave, and for inviting me here, and thank everyone for being here today, taking time out of your Saturday, and hopefully I can help you make it worthwhile. I want to give you just a few insights into what I see with Nutrisail, why I originally joined, and why we're calling this our home. And I do want to say that I really appreciate network marketing in general. The last couple of weeks, I had just a bundle of things I had to take care of, getting a house ready to sell, moving, everything. It's just been a nightmare of activity, and I realized I just couldn't keep up with the phone, and I couldn't keep up with the business. But you know what? In network marketing, you're your own CEO. You don't have to ask for time off. You need time off, you take it. And that's just a wonderful thing about our industry. So first of all, I just want to say that. A big thank you to a great industry. And I want to thank Dave for bringing up old school and old school thought. And even Brian, I believe, did in the beginning. I think we've gotten away from old school, and I think it's hurt us. And I think incorporating some of the best of the new with the best of the old is important. And I think that really captures what Nutrisail is doing, and it speaks to the heart of Dave Austin, the owner. I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking for an opportunity, certainly. I called my friend Dan Souza one day, and we were just kicking some things around, and I could tell that he was different. I could tell that he was feeling good, and it had been a long while since Dan had felt good, and I knew that. I've known him for 20 years, and we talk often, and he had been down. When I asked him about it, he said a friend of his, Barry McLeod, had sampled him some products, and they were bonging him on the head. And folks, Dan doesn't bong on the head very easily. I've tried to do it many times over the years, and I just always failed. He's a tough customer, and he's very product-oriented. So I had to probe a bit. I had to ask him what he's doing, and he told me about the company. He told me that he'd talked with the owner, Dave Austin. He told me that he had researched it a bit, done a little kicking of the tires, but wasn't in yet. And I said, well, what's the name of this? And I went in and looked. And one of the things I saw was an extremely generous compensation plan. No smoke and mirrors, just money on the table for distributors. Anybody that goes to work here, you're going to make money. You're going to make residual, and just no smoke and mirrors. And I thought, that's amazing. And I just wanted to talk to the owners. I called Dan back and got Dave Austin's number, and I called my friend Bill Womack. And I'd been losing friends in the industry just because, some were retiring and kind of giving up, and some were just, doing other things. And Bill Womack was one of those. He called me and said that he and Judy they were going to go just live on their retirement. And they had a little bit of a residual check and some retirement, and they were just going to kick back because it just hadn't been anything of interest of late. And that was about a month prior to my calling him and asking him if he would call a company owner with me. And Bill said, well, Jerry, I'm done. I'm not going to go back to the well again, just tired and not going to do it anymore. And so I just kind of twisted his arm based on a long-time friendship, and he said, okay, I'll ask some questions, and that's what I wanted him there for, was to ask some tough questions, to really help me kick the tires on something and you get to the bottom of something that looked good on the surface. Well, we spent over an hour with Mr. Dave Austin, and it was a great call, and we did ask tough questions, and Dave had great answers about the sustainability, about the products, and he actually had recognized our names from the industry and said, why don't I sample you guys, because you're people of accomplishment, and let me send you out some samples just as a thank you. And Bill called me right after that call with Dave after we hung up, and he said, Jerry, I've been looking for this for a long time, and I'll tell you why. It's easy to get in. It's free. It's easy to stay in. No autoship required. It's easy to qualify for a check. $19.95, anyone can do that. And yet the average order is around $93 to $94 because the products work. And Bill said, if these products are good, he said, we've got a home run here. And here was Bill. He'd quit. He'd already gone into retirement, and already after listening to Dave Austin and hearing the simplicity of this company, the feasibility of it, the generosity of it, we talked about compensation plan, and he got it, just like I did. Light bulb went off. There's money in this plan. So we waited, and we took the products. And just like my friend Dan Souza, we got bonked on the head. We realized these are great products, so I wanted to talk with the formulator. And that call with Fred Sines actually went on for over an hour as well. And I was extremely impressed. I've studied nutrition for 37 years at least, probably really 40 years. And I was extremely impressed with Fred's knowledge. He knew way more than I did, and yet he thought like me. The purity, the quality of ingredients, the things that we struggle out here to find. Products with no binders, fillers, excipients, none of the bad stuff, none of the magnesium stearate. Try to find a product that doesn't have that, or silicates, or coloring agents like you see titanium or titanium dioxide. You see all of these things in products. Why? Because they want to make more money. Companies want to produce products faster and less expensively, and yet they're putting things in the supplements that are actually taking you backwards. So you're taking supplements to gain health, and you're actually losing health. And you have to really work to find products that don't have that. And I was pretty excited talking with Fred. And I'll just give you my take beyond what Bill Womack talked about in the beginning. My take, Dave Austin, huge, one of us. He's been very successful in the industry time and again. He's built huge teams. And try to find an owner that's actually done that. And when you do, you're going to find somebody that's going to build a great company because they understand what we go through. And it's not easy doing what we do, putting teams together, building the relationships, sustaining that build. And he's been there. And yet he walked away from the industry because he was seeing things that weren't so appealing. Things like high auto ships, things like entry fees and yearly fees, and things like products that just didn't cut the muster. And he walked away because he knew he could do better, just with a direct sell. And for about 7 years, that's what he did, but let's say about 5 years or so, and it began to wear on him that he actually did love network marketing. He just wanted to create a different paradigm. And folks, he's nailed it. He's nailed that different paradigm at last. And it does contain a lot of the old school, and it does contain a lot of the new school as well. It's a perfect blend, and he gave that word today, just that perfect blend, that perfect balance. The no smoke and mirrors in the compensation plans. I hate it when a company says our compensation plan pays 6 ways, 7 ways, 8 ways, 10 ways. I hate that because that means they're hiding something. That means that they're trying to get you to look at all of these different ways, and yet there's no real money in it, no residual. There might be some fast start bonuses, but we have a plan, folks, that's simple. It pays a perpetual fast start bonus every time someone orders, not just once a month. Every time they order, they could order now or they could order a year from now, and you've got residual income on those people. No smoke and mirrors here with Nutrisail. And then Fred. Fred, it's amazing that Dave is working with Fred because Fred is the essence of truth. And just like no smoke and mirrors with Nutrisail, that's truth to me. And the truth in supplementation, like I said, that's really hard to find. And that's why these products are working, folks. Fred has vast knowledge in nutrition. He knows how to make things work. He knows how to put things together, and it does work. Brian mentioned the Nutrisail Builders Group. Well, also just B, all caps, JUST space B, uppercase B, all uppercase. And you see that about 7,000 people there now. Folks, that started back in July, and now about 7,000 people, and you see post after post after post of life change. These products flat out work. They address the needs that people are dealing with right now. There's 3 perfect categories, being energy and metabolism with the B Light, and that's the hook. That's the thing that wakes people up. That's the thing that was bonging Dan Souza on the head and bonged me on the head, quite frankly. I found my old energy. But you know what? Then you get this slow process of wellness coming with the other 2 products. And I say slow only because that's the way your body does things. You got the B Light waking people up, waking metabolism up, restoring things that your body desperately needs, gut inflammation, cutting our ability to assimilate nutrients down to almost nothing, especially B complex, and you put the bioactive Bs in there and the potassium iodide and all of those synergistic botanicals, that's a great thing. But then you get the B Pro, and that's not an ordinary probiotic, folks. That is a combination of ingredients that is gut, I'm not going to say the word healing because that's not compliant, but that is gut restorative, big time. You got the probiotic, the prebiotic, you've got the plant-derived enzymes, you've got synergistic nutrients to help the gut. You've got something that people desperately need right now because their guts are all inflamed, almost across the board. Then you've got the Be Safe, possibly the best supplement on the marketplace, the Swiss Army knife of supplements right now, because it not only gets rid of the toxins, protects your organs from toxicity, helps build cellular integrity, helps support your immune system. And how many people don't need a product like that? And it's whole foods, live foods, green foods, it's superfoods. It does it the right way without any binders, fillers, excipients, colors, artificial preservatives of any kind. We have something great, and that's the reason it's getting results. And another reason, another take I have on this is community. With Fred Signs, with Dave Austin, and the others, with Drew and everyone that works together as a team on this company, we have a community that's beginning to form around that truth in supplementation, truth in marketing, and an education that's coming from that. And it's very timely. Just like I wasn't looking, because I was like Bill Womack, I was tired. And I wasn't looking, but I found something great, and I actually felt like I was led to it. Because finally we have a company of truth. And that's just an amazing thing and just so hard to find. And I'm looking forward to the convention in June. We got June 15th through the 17th. And I tell you what, this community of people finding truth, gathering together, it's going to be great things that come out of that. It's not like, you know, a typical convention where there's just a lot of hype and there's a lot of, again, smoke and mirrors, and you see the people paraded across the stage that are the millionaires that, you know, everybody else in the crowd aspires to reach that, but you know never will. None of that. Here it's an entirely different philosophy, and I love Dave's philosophy of being the company that will create more $500 a month earners than any company ever in the history of network marketing. And when that happens, you don't have to look too far for the millionaires. Because those people that earn $500 a month, and that's significant, that's life-changing, that pays the car payment, possibly pays down the mortgage, possibly starts paying off the credit cards, that's significant enough to get people's attention and get them to stay in. And you can take those people because their belief level is so high, and you can add a 0 to that 500. And for some people, that's enough. That's a good retirement check, $5,000 a month. But some people just want to keep it going. And you can take those people that want to keep it going with a plan like this, and you can add another 0 to that. And you can change a life entirely. And that's what's happening with Nutrisail. And it's about to happen in a big way. I remember when I was looking into this company, I talked with Barry McLeod, and he said, I think this is a sleeping giant. Folks, that giant's waking up. This company is waking up, and word is getting out, and it is time. Back in the day when I was in school, I did some surfing. And when you could see that swell coming from a distance off, and you knew that there was a big wave accompanied with that swell as soon as it started getting into shallow water, it was time to start paddling, and you start paddling like your life depended on it, and you caught this great wave. Well, you know what? Those that paddle like their life depends on it now, because word's starting to get out, you're going to catch a great wave that is Nutrisail. And someone asked me not long ago, why'd they choose Nutrisail, S-A-I-L, like a sailboat? And I thought just for a second, and I said, you know why? Here's why. Have you ever been on a sailboat? As soon as the sails go up and the wind catches those sails and the sailboat just starts to get up on its side and start to clip, look around and everybody's smiling. Everybody's laughing and everybody's smiling. There's nobody sad, nobody down, nobody worried. Everybody is just happy. So folks, get ready to be happy. And we'll see some of you there in June in Dallas. And I'll hand it back to you, Dave. I sure do appreciate you and everyone on the Nutrisail team.